see your face, for he that great are great. I know the Lord. And the better do the God. He will roll the sea away. Then forward still this Jehovah will roll the billows, smash and spread. With a concrete strength we will push ahead and roll the sea away. Look here now, man. Sickness come, he will roll away. He come, sickness away. He roll the sea away. He roll the sickness roll the sea away. He roll the sea away. He roll all the sickness away. He roll all of the bill they repair. He roll the sea away. He roll the sea away. He roll the sea away. He roll the roll the sea away. He roll the sea away. He roll the sea away. He roll the then forward still this Jehovah will blow the billows, dash and spray. With a concrete strength we will push ahead and we roll the sea one more time away. Then forward still this Jehovah will blow the billows, dash and spray. With a concrete strength we will push ahead and roll one more time away. Lord, he roll the sea away. He roll the sea away. He roll the sea away. He problem come, he roll it out. Sickness come, he roll it out. All the problem we be rolling out. All the problem come, he roll. Lord Jesus, he roll. Lord Jesus, he roll. Somebody else say, he roll. Jordan roll. Jordan roll. Oh yeah. Jordan roll. And do thy work thyself. He say roll. Jordan roll. Jordan roll. To heaven when I die, he go hear the Jordan roll. Take it up. He roll the sea away. He roll the sea away. He roll the sea away. All of the problem roll up. All of the sickness roll up. All of the bill them roll up. Everything problem. Yeah. He rolled. Hallelujah. Glory. Thank you, Jesus. Whatever you face this week, forward still. Whatever mountains come in your way, forward still. Yeah. Whatever, even if you buck your toe, forward still. Disappointment come, forward still. Woo. And if another pastor fall, forward still. After the pastor we are follow. We obey with pastor, but we are follow Jesus. Forward still. Woo. Young people, walk holy, make the right decisions, walk right, walk holy, Ramandosia, Rakandarabasiandarabosha, walk holy, forward still, it's Jehovah's will, though the billows dash and sway. With a concrete
Dr. Brown's Arthritis Remedy and Joint Oil Pain relieves muscular and joint aches, arthritis, sciatica, headaches, menstrual cramps, foot pain, and is also a great sleep aid. Manufactured by Jamaican scientist Everton Brown, PhD, from a blend of Jamaican herbs. Shop www.jamsweet.com or call us at 813-679-0106.
Hi, we are Soninka Limited Solar. Solar that is here to help you light up your dark areas for your backyard, your farms, your stores, and in front of your homes. And it's all remote control. We also have indoor lights for your kitchen, your living room, your bedroom, and your veranda. Anywhere inside, and it is remote control as well. And remember, this will save you on your light bill, and prices are very affordable. Free shipping and delivery to your parish, no tax. We also have installation available, so look below for the contact information and contact Soninka Solar. The number is area code 954-275-9737. Again, 954-275-9737. Contact us on WhatsApp, Soninka Solar.
In need of some authentic Jamaican products? Well, here at Jamrock Mart, we got you covered. Jamrock Mart provides the taste of Jamaican products to our global customers with a variety of locally grown herbs, tonics, seasonings, and spices, just to add that Jamaican yardman style flavor to your pot. Check us out on our website at www.jamrockmart.com and order your Jamaican products today. Contact us via email at info@jamrockmart.com. Our reliable team remains available to assist at any time. Don't delay. Order your Jamaican products today. Jamrock Mart, providing you with authentic Jamaican products.
Meet Dr. Everton Brown, a Jamaican-born professor and scientist who crafts premium luxury skin, hair, and personal care products in the USA. Dr. Brown has pioneered innovative formulations, crafting multi-purpose products that address various skin and hair conditions. His scientific expertise ensures each product is of the highest quality, setting a new standard in luxury care. At our core, we are not just skincare, we are superior treatment care. Visit our website at www.tonianorganics.com or contact us at 917-557-6204 and shop for your product today.
Are you visiting Jamaica and need a cozy Airbnb to relax? Crystal Sunshine is your home away from home. We have spacious bedrooms with a modern touch. Look no more. Come stay with us at 152 Phoenix Vista, 11 Zamora Place, Portmore. For reservations, WhatsApp or call 917-832-5924 or 876-336-2639. Email us at crystalsunshine@outlook.com. What are you waiting for?
They call him Dad, Granddad, Father, Grandfather. Voila, we are back again with Auntie Claudette Father's Day gift basket, now available for purchase. Treat that special man in your life with an unforgettable basket from Auntie Claudette. Dad, I am going right now to get your gift basket from Auntie Claudette. So, see you soon. You're gonna love it. Show how much you care with a love basket from Auntie Claudette. Call us now at 1-876-426-2281 and order yours today while stock lasts. This will be a banger. Yeah, man. KG Shipping and LPK Shipping from USA to the Caribbean. The most reliable to the Caribbean. We specialize in shipping and freight services from door to door, serving West Virginia, Virginia, Maryland, Washington, D.C., Pennsylvania, and Delaware. KG Shipping and LPK Shipping is your gateway to the Caribbean. We offer our service locally and intrastate. Relax in comfort as we take your shipment from the port to your door. Visit our website at www.lpkshipping.com or contact us at 301 773 5402 or 1876 221 6765. Leave the hassle to us. We ship from a pin to and anchor. We are safe, reliable, we deliver. Call us now and ship with us today.
We've been listening to you. We've definitely been listening to you. So we got to do this just for you. It's Painhouse Record presents the man himself, Redeemed, talking about one of the best uprising artists right now, Keys for the Cage Mind, with songs like Deception.
So tell me if we life is a curse, and why you want wipe us from Jaja earth.
Peculiar People.
Every morning when me rise up down at the river, will I swim. If you do not have no river, find yourself down at the spring, and you hear no one fit all before you.
And a brand new single, this one called This Is Too
Redeem
Much.
say no more, this too much. Hey, Redeem say no more, this too much. Poverty lie in the long bend till the book. We garrison area, them want fix up.
Talking about Redeem, one of the fastest rising artists right now. Hey, you can find him on all social media platforms. IG, Facebook, TikTok. It's Redeem Official. Or look him up right here on YouTube. It's Redeem Official Vivo. Hey, talking about good music, talking about authentic music, is right here. It's Redeem. It's a Painhouse production.
Why you want wipe us from Jaja earth? But for whatever lies worth. Hey Babylon, I have seen you hurt. Babylon, me see your dirty work. Babylon, Redeem, still see you hurt. Uno say uno disease affect a young baby, affect pregnant woman and the elderly. People pause a minute and listen to me. This was well thought of and planned carefully. When you kill a baby, there is no future for we. Population that you kill pregnant lady. Knowledge can pass and you kill the elderly. Where there is no brain power, you rule mentally.
Good night, Jamaica. Good night to the globe. Good night to everyone near and far. I am back here at home, ready to do yet another interesting discussion at hand. Ready to do another discussion at hand. So I'm here, Jamaica, to one, at this time, give you all an update as to what happened in court today. Today was a pretty interesting day, Jamaica. As you are aware, no, Clarice, I never eat no oxtail, you know. What I did was I had a vegetable chow mein for lunch. A vegetable chow mein I had for lunch, students. Yeah, that's what I had today for lunch. Came home. I watched Context Matters about Humpty Dumpty. Yes, I watched Context Matters about Humpty Dumpty. I saw several of my students over the class. And I sent out a link to my students who love African movies. If you love African movie, I have a friend who is from Nigeria. He's the producer of African movies. So if you don't want a link to watch African movies, you can send me a WhatsApp. Send me a WhatsApp, Jamaica, and I will give you a link to the African movie. No phone love watch the African movie them. So if you don't want to watch the African movies, one of my friend, he just did an African movie. Somebody sent me already. Hold on, let me forward this to. See it there? It's named, the movie's name After 12 Years. See it there? See the link there, students? See the link there for the African movie, After 12 Years. Me no know, no. Why not call me? You cannot call me now. Hold on. After 12 years. So you can give me a review of the movie, all right? And let me know. 4 people. Hey, I saw no love African movie. Yes, my friend, me a friend Albo. This is my Nigerian friend. Thank you. And I love the colors. Lord Jesus. I so much I don't want the link. All right, may I send out the link. Mighty God, what is me telling you to start from me? I so much I love African movie. All right, may I send out the link. Jesus, what is me going to start from myself? No, sir. It's like everybody, me. Students say so, me I respond. It's like me don't know why me go announce this. Only nobody watch it in a class time, you know. Don't watch it in a class time. Hey, my friend most happy all a partner draw watch him show. And him me telling the students if you know what the what is something the name? If you know what the shea butter, him me get the real shea butter from. Him me get the real shea butter from Jesus. I one phone this mirror. Alright, me. Producer, you can play what happened in a court today, please. I'm come back, come in the meantime. Play what happened in a court.
Today is day one for the prosecution.
Yes, and I should say that, again, just reminding our viewers that both sides, both the prosecutors as well as the lawyers representing the men would file, piles and piles of documents so the judges have all that in advance. So these oral hearings really are about emphasizing their major points and for the judges now to ask questions. But yes, I thought the prosecutors did struggle a bit, and I just have 3 examples, which is why I brought in notes so I could actually quote. So for instance, one of the factors to be borne in mind if there's going to be a retrial is the expense to the state. And this is said to be, one of the longest trials in Jamaican history, 64 days. So you're talking about a lot of expense. When asked about that issue, the acting DPP said the state just has to bear the cost. The judge said in response, that's a novel interpretation. And then the DPP responded, I don't know if we can attribute a cost or a fixed figure to justice. The judge said, well, that's the law. Another example is the issue of the availability of prosecution witnesses. Obviously, this is going to be critical if you're going to be able to mount a viable prosecution. And the judge wanted to know about the availability of each of the witnesses. And what she said was, giving us just a list of witnesses, I don't think that cuts it. Now, the DPP then quoted from an affidavit of Senior Deputy Director Jeremy Taylor, saying most of the witnesses are available, and the judge's response was, well, if you think that's enough. But there was also a comment she made that was pretty telling. She said this court will not be sending any case to the Supreme Court to hear that witnesses are unavailable. Now, I should say, after the break, the DPP did come back and refer the judges to a particular table. Can't tell you what was in that table. I haven't found that out yet. Then a third example, just to give you, Andrea, on the issue as to the length of time the case has taken, the DPP, to answer that point, she was reading a long list of everything that has happened within the 10 years. And the judge stopped her and said, look, what we want is a justification as to why it took 10 years, pointing out that the state has to prove that any breach of the reasonable time standard is demonstrably justified on that issue. The DPP said she needed more time to respond, so perhaps we'll hear more in terms of a response tomorrow, because the prosecution does continue tomorrow.
Students, I'm going to say this too now. Today, when I heard Claudette, I'm not telling a lie. Today when me hear Claudette Thompson, no, me see why, Lord Jesus. You don't know my mouth, no filter, no students. Students, me go say this too now. Me go say this too now, I don't know. Una might say, Lord teacher. But today when me hear Claudette Thompson attack, and today when she never have no grounds or when her argument them never solid, all she depend, my lady, my lady, my lady, my lady. Till she have to ask the judge for more time to present to me. Me I say, but then I said to myself, now I understand Courtney and Jamaica and TikTok and YouTube. Now I understand why Paula Llewellyn don't want to let go of the DPP office. Students, only hear what I said to you tonight. When I hear Claudette today, me say, Kuno. No, sir. Me say to myself, sir, what kind of kuno business this we have in the country? So that is why Jamaica, such lady, never want to let go, because if Claudette are the DP students, you hear what I said to you? If you don't hear her today in the court, little limited experience. All the young man were the assistant. The one when you Yanni King or whatsoever. Me said to myself, say, no, sir. If Jeremy Taylor were the King's Counsel in the DPP, I said to myself, why didn't Jeremy Taylor do this? You heard what I said tonight, Jamaica? I said to myself, I better them did make Jeremy Taylor talk. When me hear the woman say, she make an argument to them and say, box cover. This a real inexperience. When the judge look Panara and say, so how do you justify the men she said the man constitutional breach is justifiable. Then when me know say something really wrong with her, remember the judge asked them Monday, if say she want to audit pan the case them a Supreme Court. Claudette come today, Courtney, and say to the judge that where we are right now, the man them should be able to get a retrial next year. So me say, wait, or you can tell when the man them are going to get a retrial when the audit not done yet. I'm going to say it again, students. Remember, the judge called for the Supreme Court registry. call for the Supreme Court registry to give her an update on everything while go on. You remember, students? She remember how much case there before Adija Palmer and the whole of them. And she can come tell me and you say the possibility for a retrial exists for next year. Remember the registry not done the audit yet. And when it's so bad, you know what she do? She start go through one document. Hey! Mighty Jesus, gentle Jesus, meek and mild. She go through one document, students. And she a read. Here, Justice McDonald Bishop. Save us sometime. Here are. No, you're my lady. No, my lady, let me read through the document. So the Justice McDonald Bishop said to her, say, that document have no relevance. Hey! So when me hear the lady say, the judge said the document have no relevance. Then, me want to ask you one question, student. Only never tell me, say, in at the time of the 80s. The time of the 80s. Here our lady Smiley said the DPP office very weak today. I feel DPP, Labor Right DPP. Here the guy, you know, the assistant. Them a make comparison to the publicity of the case now to a case in the 80s. So here, the guy. No, him name, yeah, Mr. King. Yeah, Mr. King. My lady, JBC and RJR and all of them, did you have widespread media coverage? But me said to myself, in the 80s, everybody never have access to JBC and RJR. So when him says so now, him say, my lady, it is as relevant as it is not relevant now. So me say, oh, that's a year when the judge said, are you sure the comparison is applicable? And the man say, yes! What a bangarang! And him hear the judge. Save yourself. Hey, Jamaica. Me not tell no lie to no. Listen to the case at daytime. Sometimes I want pop up in there, no. I want pop up in there. But I said to myself, be still, Mr. Stevens. Because I know some of the wicked, dirty people, them and watch me. They throw me out of the students. And in there they are arguing, yes, my lady. Yes, my lady. And I go on and I'm say backside. I said that is a tune tonight, Jamaica. Now I see Orlando. Orlando. Well, students tonight are going nice, call upon our friends. Mm-hmm. All right. Yes, students. So that is what happened today. That is what really happened today in the courthouse. More happened, but I will leave it for the summary for tomorrow. So I want to know, students, what's going to be the outcome. What is going to be the outcome? But I can tell you from now where we stand. The prosecution weak. Students, remember, I know the worst part of it. Them still have file affidavits. When, I don't forget that part here. The part were interesting are when the judge, them said the witnesses are still available for do a retrial. Them, according to the prosecution, them said the witnesses available to do the retrial. Me, here when Justice McMarva say, no, be specific as to which witness, because she not send back no case, go a retrial and only for hearsay the witness is not available. She want to know the specificities to which and which witness available. I'll know, Courtney. I'll know the acting DPP and all who say witness available. Can't say witness 1, witness 2, witness 3, witness 4. Marjorie, uncle, why can't I talk about the case? I can talk about the case because what I'm talking about the case, other media houses talking about it. But she could not give a chronological rundown of which witness available. So I said to myself, this is really bad. But I wonder if them even have access to any of the witnesses. But students, leave that alone. Leave that alone for now. Last night, students, I am sure you heard of what is happening in the political arena, particularly in the PNP. I mentioned it last night about Senator Damion Crawford's pronouncement on the increase in the GCT. And I had several questions to ask Senator Crawford and the PNP. Lo and behold, Jamaica, I reached out to Senator Crawford. You know he's not a stranger to this program. And he said, yes, Mr. Stevens, he's willing to come and explain his position as to what he's purporting or proposing. So let us welcome Damion Crawford at this time to join us on the program. Greetings,
Hello.
Mr. Crawford.
How you doing?
I am good. You dash your partner draw TV from last. You dash your partner draw TV, but welcome back to partner draw.
Boy, man, I'm happy that your thing is still going and that you have rebuilt it after all the cascades that took place.
Yes, man. You know I can't keep a good man down. Senator Crawford, I want to ask you, this proposition that you put forward to the people, is dream your dream on it?
Is a dream it?
Is dream your dream on it? Or tell Jamaica how you come to formulate the idea about increased pan GCT. Talk to it.
Well, Well, the first thing is that the idea is really centered around education needing more money. The how comes after the what. So when I did my own analysis, I recognized that there's certain realities within our education system that cause for the general underperformance of our students. And so a child who learned to talk and learned to walk at 9 months all of a sudden cannot learn anything at 19. And so when I looked at the realities, I recognized some things that I would like to share. The first thing is in the 2023 PEP examination, 11,581 students did not achieve proficiency in social studies.
11,000 how much?
581 students. That is 33% of our students did not achieve proficiency in social studies. 12,790 students, children, did not achieve proficiency in the sciences. 14,003 students did not achieve proficiency in language arts.
Wow.
And 15,374 students did not achieve proficiency in mathematics.
Mathematics.
That's almost 50% of our children did not achieve proficiency.
How many of them did the exam?
About 30, let me look at the total number here. 34,000 students did the exam. So
and
the mathematics
basically
figure
half of them not proficient.
Yes, so in mathematics it will be 43% not proficient. Remember, you have basic proficiency and you have high proficiency. In the category of high proficiency, only 2,695 students achieved high proficiency in mathematics.
2,695.
Yes. So of all the 30,000 children, only 8% were highly proficient. The numbers only get worse because in 2020-21, in CXE, 36,748 students were enrolled in grade 11. Only 6,323 achieved 5 subjects, including math and English. Now, persons who live in the States, this is what is equivalent to what we call a GED. So our GED is supposed to be 5 subjects, including math and English.
Yes.
Only 17% achieved 5 subjects, including math and English.
17% of the 36,000.
Of the 36,000. The World Bank says that the Jamaican student that completes 11 years of education would achieve only 7 years of effective teaching and learning. So a student who attends school, pay school fee, buy lunch, get lunch money, pay taxi fare, buy book for 11 years, would have achieved 7 years of true effective education.
Wow.
That means that there's no doubt why they're failing a CXE exam, which assumes 11 years of education, because they really have only attained 7 years. The same study says that the Jamaican graduate is 53% of its potential, 53% as productive if they got adequate education and adequate healthcare. What is also concerning to me is that a particular researcher did a research on Jamaican children and found that between 25 and 33% of Jamaican children arrived at school hungry.
Oh, repeat that.
Between 25 and 33% of Jamaican students arrived, not get hungry while they were at school. They arrived at school hungry. So it means that this is about 140,000 students arrived at school hungry. So the fundamental conversation that we need to have is that there is a need for additional spending and funding of education. Where are we with, yes.
So you're calling for an increase in the funding of education. I want to ask you tonight, Senator Crawford, what's the purpose of the PAYE?
All right. So the current education budget in Jamaica gives the equivalent of 2,060 US dollars per child for the year. In the United States, it's $11,000 per child. In Turkey, it's 17,000 US dollars per child. In all the OECD countries, is approximately $10,800 per child.
That is like in the Caribbean?
In the OECD, so the general situation, Barbados have a way higher contribution than Jamaica. Trinidad have a way higher contribution than Jamaica. But the research shows that the returns on education continue to increase up to 8,000 US dollars per child. Now, for the listeners, I'd like them to understand that approximately 82% of the education budget in Jamaica is to pay teacher salary and
Yes.
utilities. So it pays teacher salaries.
Right?
Sorry?
82% of the annual education budget.
Right. Pay teacher salaries and utilities, water and light bill. So there is nothing basically in the budget other than to pay teachers and light bill. There's no program money there. There's nothing there. So when we look at the education landscape, we see some necessary things that needs to be implemented. One of which is 1 meal per child in school.
1 meal?
1 meal per child in school. So the government should provide, in our opinion, 1 meal per child. Now, there'll be some who say, how can we achieve or afford 1 meal per child? But then they don't realize that we can afford 3 meals per adult in prison.
Oh.
But we can't achieve 1 meal per child in school. If we don't achieve 1 meal per child.
Your argument is if we can achieve 3 meals per prisoner, we should be able to accommodate 1 meal per child.
Well, we're going to pay at some point. We're going to either pay to create a situation, a circumstance that a person don't commit a crime of need because they did not get the proper exposure. 17% will not have any capacity to be an effective and efficient worker. With only 17% would have that capacity in a space that muscle is no longer important. So we say we want 1 meal per child in school. The current situation is only those on path, and they're facilitated for only 3 meals per week at $250 per child. So the $250 can even buy a reasonable patty and a box.
A patty.
All right. So therefore, there's no nutritious meals within schools at this particular time. We also recognize that there is a high risk of sending home our children at 2:30 when their parents are not getting home until 7. The parents leave work at 5, and by the time they go through traffic and get home is 7 o'clock. Leaving our children exposed to the vagrants of our society, being recruited to gangs and the sexual predators, so much so that between 2011 and 2021, 60,000 girls under the age of 16 had a baby.
2011 to
and 2021. 60,000 Jamaican young girls under the age of 16 had a baby.
So you're saying that they're not being monitored?
Well, how can they be monitored if the people who are likely to be home in the middle of the day are not the most productive people in our society? So we are saying that the school day should be extended from 2:30 to 4:30.
Oh, so you want to extend the school hour from 4:30, from 2:30 to 4:30?
Yes, and this is why. We believe that the academic component of school should be up to 2:30, but the socialization component of school should be after 2:30 to 4:30. So, for example,
clubs and societies and things like that.
But also the homework sessions. So we're proposing that on a Monday and a Wednesday we need homework sessions. If you people listening can Google what they call the inverted classroom. Throughout the world, they have recognized
inverted classroom.
The inverted classroom. They have recognized throughout the world that it makes no sense to send home a person with fifth form mathematics to parents who drop out in second form and third form. And so, therefore, if you're going to create an environment for study, it means that you have in America the Boys and Girls Club and stuff like that. But you need an environment that our children can then stay back in school and do the necessary homework and practice with supervision from trained persons who are able to help instead of having them at bus stop and stoplight and gambling and all of those other activities. That takes money. That's a cost. We have recommended that we want to have every seventh grader, and I will push it to even eighth graders, to be a part of a uniform corps and expose the discipline. The uniform
They
corps is
want
cadet.
grade 7 and grade 8 students to be a part of the cadet program.
Cadet program, the Girls Guides program, the Brownie program, because many of our children have never been exposed to discipline, only to punishment. So an environment of discipline that you're forced to conform is not available in many of our households. It's just if you do something sufficiently wrong, you get beaten. But there's not an environment of discipline. And so to expose people to the ability to conform, and that's what discipline is, the ability to conform.
So
Then
this cadet program that you're talking about,
yes.
and Girls Guide, you would make it a mandatory policy, right?
It is my opinion that it should be mandatory for seventh and eighth grade. Then others will be able to choose to stay thereafter. Because in the socialization program, we want to have 8 options of clubs and societies and 5 options of sporting activities available to every school.
8
Not just Arden.
And 5 sports at every school.
Yes, at least. So you have schools like Arden and KC and Immaculate that have all 21 and 24 clubs. And then you have other schools that have 2, 1, none, and can't afford to have a sporting program. So when we look at that, we also heard recently where the Minister of Education was lamenting that they gave ebooks to school. And having given ebooks to school, the teachers weren't using it. And I asked the minister,
$2 billion, yeah.
$2 billion wasted. How can a teacher use an ebook in class when the students don't have a computer to access it in class?
So the only way resources are not there.
Well, the only way to access an ebook is with a computer. So if I'm teaching a class and say, turn to page 27, if the person have the physical book, they turn to page 27. If they have an ebook, they must equally have a computer to turn to page 27. And if there is no computer, then the teacher must be equipped with a projector so that they can project page 27. None of that was made available with the ebooks. So the ebooks became a wasted investment because there was no e-access. The Minister of Education then made front page for saying that she bought 10,000 laptops for secondary schools. There's 240,000 children in secondary schools. Therefore, 10,000 is less than 5% of our students that would have attained a laptop. We believe that at least 20% of the school cohort should have access at any given time to a laptop. So the school would own the laptops, but 20%, which means 5 grades normally within a secondary school, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11, that those 5 grades, that at any given time, 1 grade can have full access to laptops in their classroom. That would facilitate constant examinations, online examinations, that would allow for remedial impact before the end of the year. So I'm a teacher, as you know, right? And one of the problems we have is some of those who are talking have never had this experience. But if I should be teaching quadratic equation, a student that never understood factorization, would not understand quadratic equation.
Mm-hmm.
So if I don't have factorization remedial effort for those who don't understand factorization,
Mm-hmm.
it don't make no sense I go on to quadratic equation.
Mm-hmm.
In the same way, if I'm going to do vectors, if you
Yes.
don't understand trigonometry, it don't make no sense me do vectors.
Mm-hmm.
Because the measurement of the distance from A to B is going to be dependent on Pythagoras theory or SOHCAHTOA, meaning sine rule, cosine rule, and tangent rule.
Lord Jesus.
Yes. So what so what is happening
I'm not
therefore?
a mathematician like you for the
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
history
yeah.
and literature and them something.
No, but what is happening is we are not doing remedial effort weekly or monthly, but we're doing remedial effort at the end of the year, which means that instead of failing only one aspect, factorization, they now fail all aspects, quadratic and others, because they never understood factorization. So we said to the government and the society, our teachers are being recruited throughout the world. Our principals are being recruited throughout the world. Right now, there are some recruiters from Britain offering $2 million relocation grant to our teachers.
Yes.
So therefore, the quality of our teachers is accepted globally. But our teachers not being given the resources are incapable to create the outcomes that we need. For some reason, the government is saying the teachers should be held accountable to carry home $100,000 of groceries when they were sent to the supermarket with $17,000 to purchase. We are giving each student $17,000 for the year, not for the month, not for the week. The government's contribution to schools is 17,000 Jamaican dollars. Normally, that would be over 10 months, because we have summer.
Yes.
Over 10 months, that's a $1,700 per month.
$100
And
per
they
month.
will go for 20 days. So that would be 170 divided by 2. That's approximately $85 per day. What outcomes can a teacher, a principal create with $85 per student per day?
Wow.
So we look at all these realities,
So
and we say that we
you
yes,
really went in through the intricacies from you look at the output of our students in terms
yes,
of the level of quality education that is being given to
yes,
them. You looked at the variables of how many students are able to eat a proper meal per day. You looked also at the inadequacies within our school system, talking about increasing clubs and activities, mandatory learning capacity and timing. But
yes.
how long have you been conceptualizing a full framework of how to fix education in this country?
All my life. People will remember that my first sojourn in politics in East Rural St. Andrew, I was so committed to education that there was a demonstration where they said picnic can't vote and education can't.
Yeah. Them running out there because the people themselves do a focus on education. So you're crying that model to and not so you're moving the model from
Where
the
they said
constituency.
crucify him.
Okay.
Yes. And at that time, I asked for what we call a 3-2-1 program, which I'm still committed to, called 1 degree per household, starting with 3 CXC in every household in 5 years, then 2 CAPE A levels in 10 years, and in 15 years, 1 degree per household. I asked the listeners just to understand why I'm so committed to 1 degree per household. The negatives within our society is seldom seen in a degreed household.
Yes.
For example, a degreed household is less likely to produce participants in crime and criminal activity. A degreed household is less likely to suffer from hunger and malnutrition. A degreed household is less likely to have limited access to healthcare due to financing. A degreed household is less likely to be suffering from some of the negatives within the society, such as poverty. And
Mm-hmm.
so, if it is that we see that the vast majority of degreed households do not suffer the greatest negatives of our society,
Yes.
then it struck me that our best effort is to get 1 degree per household to
Mm-hmm.
have those households, those individuals, be the agents of change within their communities and within those individual households. And it
Okay.
means, therefore, that it would change the entire circumstance. So when we look and say that we need 30% boarding facilities within schools. So
Oh, so you
the
plan to also, if you become minister, you plan to increase boarding?
well, again, as you have seen, I don't have the final arbiter of
Mm-hmm.
decision making. So
But these are your
education,
proposals.
but these are the proposals that I'm carrying to the table. And these are the things that I would be fighting for and resigning over because I don't want to be the minister of paying teachers. That's what the Ministry of Education is now. The
Just
minister of
paying
paying
teachers.
teachers.
And there's
Yes.
no quality output or input being given to
But
education.
there's no investment being made. If the Ministry of Security only paid the police and the police station light bill, we would be cussing for cars, we'll be cussing for buttons, we'll be cussing for cameras, because there is a great need for investing in programs outside of salaries.
Mm.
Good. Now, if you don't have boarding, then it means that students that live far from the school would have a cost negative of getting to school.
Mm-hmm.
Some students are charged up to $1,400 per day in transportation
Yes. So
to
that's
get to
another
school.
area that you would want to focus on, the whole
That's
transport.
what boarding solves.
Oh,
Boarding solves that immediately. But also, boarding solves the necessity to separate some of our children from the negative influences within those communities. Some
okay.
who are being recruited by gangs and otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Boarding also allows for one school to not have 10 picnic, even though it have 300 spaces, and
Okay.
another school have 500 picnic, even though it have 200 spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Because what has happened is people migrate to the centers of our communities where the work is and all of that. And so those schools close to the centers are overpopulated.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's hard to get to the ones outside of the centers, they are underpopulated.
True.
So boarding would also solve that and create an environment for study. You know,
Mm-hmm.
one of the worst decisions I've seen government make is to say
What's
they're putting in Wi-Fi's in our communities for access, student access, and put it in the big town. How can you learn in the town?
so
Which
you're saying
student
the internet access should really be in the schools?
either in the schools, in the church, there must be a space that can be organized and
Mm.
controlled for any type of learning to take place.
True.
So, what we have looked at now is all of these realities. And we have said that finally, we want 4 vocational labs in every secondary school.
For
So every
vocational.
secondary school should have a cluster of vocational labs. So let us say a school in Westmoreland where tourism is strong. Then
Mm-hmm.
it may have culinary arts as a vocational lab, a proper kitchen where persons can learn to be chefs and stuff like that. It may have another one for massage therapy, and that might be another thing there. It may have
Beautification.
one for what you call it, the landscaping, and that is another one there. It may even have one for housekeeping management, and that's another one there. So there'll be 4 labs in that school. Now, if you should just think about it, our school infrastructure is the
Mm-hmm.
least utilized infrastructure in this country. It goes from 8 a.m. to 2:30. and then no longer utilized for the rest of the day, not utilized on a weekend, not utilized during the summer. So if you build these labs from Heart Trust NTA, then you will be able to follow the stats model, St. Andrew Technical High School, where the students use these labs in the days, but the community use these labs in the nights. So
Okay.
you'd be able to have night school, you'll be able to have weekend school, you'll be able to have summer school for non-participants of the current school system.
Okay.
So when you look at all of that, we say we need 25 to $30 billion.
So you need,
to
so the
really,
facts are, when you look at
yes,
all these variables and you
yes,
consider, you say
yes,
annually you would need at least $25
billion more.
billion.
Yes,
So
yes,
I want to ask you the pressing question, Mr. Crawford.
yes, yes,
When you did all of these variables and
yes,
realized that you would need $25 to $30 billion more, why you
yes.
never consult your opposition's counterpart before you come and for them to join you a part of this creative plan?
Yes, and that would be the appropriate methodology because within the context of government or whatever, my duty is to say what we need for education and then to go to the group to say, yo, listen, we need to find this on my behalf. So there's another person that has been blessed with that opportunity. That would have been Julian to say, these are all the needs that have been put forward, and this is how we plan to fund those needs. So when I looked at the circumstances and look at the context, I was at a principal's function where the Minister of Education was also present.
Yes.
It would have been disrespectful of me to her office to say, oh, the teeth in can cut down and wastage can cut down and all of these are considerations that must be had. But in the space, it would be disrespectful and confrontational, reducing the value of such a meeting with all principals and the conversations and questions that we could have to find some middle ground among us. So while it is that all Jamaicans would know that there's some level of wastage and there's some level of misappropriation, Royal Reed comes to mind.
Not some significant, Mr. Crawford. Significant.
Significant.
Now use no water it down. When you say
Yes.
significant, Crawford, don't go
Yes,
back.
yes. But even within that significance, without total knowledge of what is happening, I cannot calculate how much of that 25 billion that would contribute. So therefore, I looked within my black box and I recognized that, yo, listen, okay,
Get on
one,
airplane.
yeah. So I said one avenue for which we can find 25 billion is within the GCT that is being collected. And that is because everybody pay GCT and everybody should contribute to education. Now, I thought to myself that if it is that I ask a person to pay 1% GCT, but them don't have to find lunch money for them children because we're providing lunch. If it is that I ask for 1% of GCT and they don't have to buy books because we're saying all books, secondary and primary books should be provided by government. If it is that they provide 1% of GCT, but they don't have to pay extra class because we're having our homework centers and our boys and girls clubs. If it is that we ask for 1% and the children are now going to get uniform for cadet and uniform, then that would be a reasonable spend. But the misuse of our taxes have created such resistance to taxation because people are not resisting paying taxes. People are resisting giving thieves their money. So therefore, the resistance to taxation is because of the misuse of the taxes. Yes.
Why then don't you call for 1% of the present GCT to be used towards education rather than ask for a percentage increase? Why don't you call for 1% of the 15% that already exists to be
because no individual is the is the holder of all knowledge. So since this whole hula one people say no, no more taxes, no more taxes, then now you see that okay, we can call for a few different things. For example, the current taxes, 1% of the current taxes should be reserved and agreed among two parties that should be in addition to salaries and utilities. Also, we could also ask that the education tax be used as a separate from utilities and salaries, because in truth the total education budget is greater than the total education tax. The total education tax is 56 billion, the total education is 163 billion. But again, I remind you that the total education budget is based mainly on salaries and utilities. So if we say that the consolidated fund should pay salaries and utilities, and the education tax be used for running the school and putting in education improvement activities, it achieves the same goal. So therefore, the increase was on the assumption that all other things will be remain constant. But it is a better politically and otherwise idea to say let us agree as a politician, as government, as a nation, to reserve 1% of GCT to go towards education programs instead of saying to increase the GCT based on the environment that we're in. Yes, that would have been better.
Are you saying that you plan to retract the statement?
No, not to retract, because I would not want us to lose the foundation. And I hear people say Crawford want to tax us, but they don't say Crawford want to educate us. I never said to tax them and throw it in the bush. I never said to tax them and do bushing or do some spending. I say that my priority is to make sure that a child that is born able to learn comes out with a learned outcome. So while I hear people saying Crawford want to tax us, for some reason I don't hear them say Crawford want to educate us, when the two must go hand in hand. The first priority is that we need to educate our people. There's no place for the uneducated in the new world. You can't use AI if you're illiterate. How would you use AI if you're incapable to prompt AI on what it should do? Those who want to mix cement have been replaced by a premix truck. Those who want to chop bush have been replaced by a weed whacker. Those who want to wash clothes have been replaced by a washing machine. I went to Walmart in the United States. It had no cashier. It was self-checkout. And when I went to the airport, I could book my own ticket where I want to sit down. There's no place for the uneducated in the new world. So realizing that, I am committed to an education outcome greater than 6,000 of the 36,000 getting the necessary 5 subjects, greater than the numbers of persons who are now graduating with level 4 heart, so much so that the Prime Minister is planning to import or considering the importation of labor because the skills are not available. So the first thing I want an agreement on is that we need this 25 to 30 billion dollars more for education, and then we can discuss how it should be funded. The unfortunate thing is we are discussing the funding mechanism before we have come to the agreement on what it is that is needed for education. We cannot continue simply paying teachers and paying light bill.
With that said,
yes,
you put an argument just a while ago, and I think I find that argument way more attractive.
Yes.
You said, find a way in the budget to fund the salaries and the utilities.
Yes.
But then you need to find that extra $30 billion.
So you just reserve the education tax now for all education activities other than salaries and utilities.
So that is what I am saying. Rather than use the PAYE to pay the teachers and pay
Mm.
utilities. Because you said that is about $56 billion, right?
The education tax, yes,
Yeah,
the
the
education tax.
education tax. Why then don't you ask stipulate that we make it mandatory for the education tax to
Yes.
fund the education
The
programs and initiatives?
functioning of schools, not the salaries of teachers, the functioning of schools. So currently we're giving $17,000 per school, per student.
So how
If
much you
we should,
think if we fix that, how much you
yes,
think it is going to increase per
it would
student
be $86,000 per child per school.
for the year?
Yes. And
80.
let me tell you why. And let me explain what we think that should do.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain activities that education should do that we don't even recognize. For example, there's the academic outcome, the performance.
Yes.
So there is a need to fund certain schools to a greater level for academic output than other schools, based on the gap between where we want them to be and where they are. So as it relates to so we have proposed a cost plus funding mechanism. They're
Yes.
getting $17,000 now. The additional money will be based on a weighted average of what it is that the needs of the school are. So we believe that Denham Town would
Mhm.
need to have greater investment in the academic component than Campion, because the
Yes.
student at Campion, the gap between where they are and where we want them to be is
Mhm.
less than the gap at Denham Town.
Yes.
Then you have the safety component. The
Mm-hmm.
safety component includes safety from the community, safety among themselves. As you can see, violence in schools have erupted to a certain level. So,
Mm-hmm.
therefore, the funding of safety. So, Kingston College might need more money for safety because they have two campuses
Mm-hmm.
than would Tivoli Gardens. Or Tivoli Gardens might need more safety because they're in volatile community
Volatile areas.
than
Mm-hmm.
Mona. So therefore, when I say it would be 86,000 per child, it would be varied based on those outcomes. Then you have socialization, meaning the clubs and the societies, which we could get, for example, from the sin taxes, like gambling should be taxed, in my opinion, to help to fund student socialization.
Mm.
And by the way, gambling is a major problem now within our schools.
Yes.
Alcohol consumption is a major problem now within our schools. Teachers have indicated that students are going as far as soaking gummy bears into rum overnight and
Yes.
carrying it to school to sell. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Part of the violence that we're seeing is because of gambling. Is out of the depression of losing or the elation of winning. Persons start to fight. Right? So
Wow.
therefore, we need that socialization component, the girls, guys, the brigades, the clubs and the
But then
societies, the
you said
sporting
something.
activities.
You
Mhm.
said something about extending the school time mandatorily to from
Yes,
30 to 4:30. So
yes.
if you're going to do that, I assume that you're going to employ more personnel.
You'd have to employ more people, right? You'd have to engage. And that is why we have always called for a department of volunteerism as well. So that persons like myself and yourself who are well, they call us well thinking Jamaican, can say, all right, I'll take a day and help with this club. I would help with maths club. You may help with debating. Another person may be willing to help with girls' guide. But also you'd have to pay a general overseer for these different activities, social workers, etc. So, in my opinion, even the infusion of Marcus Garvey and some of those other things can be properly designed in the 2:30 to 4:30 aspects,
Mm-hmm.
then it can be properly infused in the 8:30 to 2:30 aspect.
Wow. I like that idea though. And when you came up with the idea of mandatory uh,
Uniform core.
uniform core in
Yes.
our schools for grade 7 and grade 8, what was
Yes.
your research? Did you do any research to provide any?
Extensive research that
Mm,
shows that the exposure to discipline carries over almost into the lifetime, and that those who are from low income families, oftentimes having a single parent experience,
mm-hmm.
um, benefits greatest from environments of discipline that shows what is expected of the average citizen. Now, what we don't recognize is Jamaica have a 47% single parent experience. The global average is 17%. So Jamaica is way worse than the global average. Part of which is because of how slavery kind of prepared our minds to
Yes.
be anti-family. Now, and also the second part is the financial benefit to the male in particular of not
Mhm.
participating in the family. So because of the difficulty in getting child support and other things, the male's absence have a financial benefit to that male. And if
Mm.
we should improve the ability to achieve child support, it reduces the benefit of separation from the family. So if you
Yes.
already have paid child support, might as well stay and chill with the child. And when I say stay, not necessarily in the relationship, but in the child's circumstance.
Mhm.
Now, to you and your listeners, let me explain what the research says. It says a child that have only one adult interested loses the support of up to 30 adults in their life.
Wow.
Because if I never take on my daughter now, then she lose my four sisters as her aunt. She lose my mother as her grandmother.
Yeah.
She lose all my KC friends as them virgin. She
And
lose
your uncle.
all my PMP associates. She lose Andrew Holness because if it come to shove and I call Andrew Holness, him have to assist because we
Oh.
are all in the same environment. So
Mhm.
what happens therefore is that many a child have benefited from John seeing James Pickney and say, where are they, sir?
Mhm.
And send him home before the shootout or the drive by.
Talking about the,
So
the, the community, raised
yes,
raising the child
be-
as a
so,
community.
so right. So when you have one less interested parent, you lose 30 adults
Wow.
in your existence and your experience. So therefore, this when you have a single mother who work at home and don't have time to intervene, this whole mandatory cadet corps creates that environment. Now, you have heard us talk about unattached youths, meaning they are attached to nothing. This mandatory uniform corps creates an automatic attachment to something. These
Yes.
clubs and society creates an automatic attachment to something. These sports opportunities creates an automatic attachment to something. So if we recognize that unattached youths are the major recruiters to crime and violence,
Mhm.
then why are we not seeking ways, especially through the school system, to ensure their attachment?
Oh, a good. That is
the,
a
the,
good.
the,
That's a
the
good way of
top
putting
schools, the top schools have attachments. The top schools have 80-yard picnic in the track team, another 40-yard picnic in Manning Cup, and another 30-yard in Colts, and another 30-yard in Pepsi.
it.
They
Mhm.
have people in swimming. There are people attached to basketball. There are people attached to Key Club and 4-H Club
Mm.
and Rotaract. There are people attached to what we used to call entrepreneurship club, school challenge quiz.
Not.
So dance,
Mhm.
festival, all together sing. And then the local school run back attached to nothing.
True. True.
And then we call him unattached because he seeks attachment in any group that is available and none available to his school. So he's now in a gang or
Mhm.
she's now seeking to be sexually participant. So these are the things that the research has shown. The research has shown that it is better to subsidize the poor by giving lunch in school because it goes directly to the child. Giving
Mm.
the parent money don't necessarily go directly to the child.
I would argue, though, Mr. Crawford, that rather than doing one meal per day, let us see if we can do two now. Cause
Well, is it because people are unwilling to spend? You have to also curtail because one meal per day, averaging $500 per child, we're looking on $35 billion.
well, I believe
And
that
then
I believe that where we are, we need to fund our children, because I'm telling you, a lot of our children are going to school each day and they're hungry. And if they're
And they
hungry,
can learn if they're hungry.
learn is a big part of the discussion. That's why them run up and down. That's why them can't focus
All
in the
right.
school system. Is a big thing.
This is the facts. An
Mm-hmm.
animal have two functions. The first function is sustenance, staying alive, and the
Mm-hmm.
second function is performance.
True.
So human beings are animals, but I can give you the example of my farm. If I don't feed my birds, they stop laying because they transfer the performance function of laying to the energy goes to staying alive.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't give my goats sufficient feeding, them stop producing milk or them stop gaining weight.
True.
They transfer the performance function to the sustenance function, staying alive.
Mm-hmm.
A- Education is a performance function. So a child that has not had the meal is now transferring their energies from the performance function
Mm-hmm.
to the sustenance function. All
True.
your energies is about just survival, staying alive. It's the human instinct.
Instinct.
So there's no way
Them a go
when I
gamble
get there.
in the system for make money in the day.
When I said the area of a circle is pi r square, him brain stuck on the component, him no know no about no r square because
Mm.
him no eat from morning. You must say pecan pie, apple pie, pumpkin pie. What kind of pie you talking about? Him no business about circle anymore because his. I went to a school and I can call Denham Town. I got Denham Town about 4 5 years ago for to teach them some maths, inner city mathematics. And at 10 o'clock Monday morning, a child have her head on the decks. One tell you, the entire class know the malady. She have gas. So you
Wow.
have gas? Yes, sir. Buy her a soda. No
Mm-mm.
matter how good a teacher you are, that child cannot learn. I can tell people now because they have been misrepresenting teaching and diminishing the profession by giving bad name to teachers in an effort to blame somebody other than themselves.
Yes.
Teachers are going out now and using their money to buy lunch for students.
Students. I remember a lot of
Teachers
teachers doing that
are
for.
buying farm mica for use as a whiteboard because they don't have a whiteboard.
Wow.
Teachers are keeping extra classes for free, especially when it comes to exam time.
Mm-hmm.
For students who are suffering from chronic absenteeism, 21 days. So
Wow.
chronic absenteeism means that it is unlikely to be successful in school if you miss 21 days. Remember when I say if you don't know factorization, you don't know quadratic,
Mm-hmm.
then if you're absent factorization day, being present quadratic day is of no moment.
Mm.
If you're absent trigonometry day, being present um, vectors day is of no moment. If you're absent algebra day, being present simultaneous day is of no moment.
Woman.
Or what you weather and infrastructure don't facilitate their movement, taxi strike,
Mm-hmm.
crime and violence, no
Mm-hmm.
lunch money,
Wow.
have to work at the farm,
Mm-hmm.
have to babysit mother baby.
Wow.
All of these things have created a situation where almost 40% of our Jamaicans are missing 21 days or more. That's
21
what is,
days or more.
yes. So we have 190 days of school, and 40% of our Jamaicans are missing 21 days or more, which has been defined as chronic absenteeism.
Wow. That's so much they pin them now go to school.
Well, you think that our people will learn every dance is failing because of things other than a systematic problem? You think our children will learn every song really can't learn maths?
Mm.
The difference is that every day they're exposed to the song.
But they're not
They are missing many days of education.
of the dance, but not the math.
Then if they miss 21 days of maths, but get 365 days of dance, then which one are they going to learn?
Mm.
And
So,
whenever they eat, they can expose themselves to the dance. But if they don't eat between 8:30 and 2:30, they can't expose themselves to the maths.
wow.
How is it that you never born a walk and learn for walk? You never born a talk and learn for talk? and that is not sufficient evidence that you can learn.
Mm-hmm.
If you learn at 9 months, why you can't learn at 9 years and 19 years and 29 years?
Mm-hmm.
So all of these things is based on my commitment to educating the people, not my commitment to taxation. Taxation to me don't matter to me. I've never tried to be finance.
Mm.
People don't know that I demanded education and seminar do nothing else. Don't appoint me to nothing else other than education.
Wait. You're saying that you demanded Mark Golding to appoint you.
I said, don't give me nothing else. Me no
You
want nothing else.
demanded that from Mark Golding?
Well, let me say, don't give me nothing other than that. So if you're giving me something other than that, don't give me nothing.
Oh, interesting. So you have a true passion to revolutionize education in this country.
Well, when we had COVID, which other politician kept maths classes on YouTube and on Instagram or any other class? Which politician said, this is the subject that I know and I'm going to try and carry it out?
Well,
when there was COVID, I connected with the church, organized with the church to facilitate education. You can ask the church that and beg people biscuit and all of them things. When I was in East Rural, as I said, I was so committed to it that them vote me out on that basis. So there can be no question of my commitment to education. There can be no question because I that is how me make it. That's how me escape my circumstance of 8 of us in a 2-bedroom house, of watching people TV through them window, of jumping over wall for go beg people a phone call. That's how I escaped. So therefore, I know that without the education of our people, we will not solve crime. We will not solve the non-productivity problem. We will, if a person know how to angle goat, then I need one person. If him don't know how to angle goat, I need 5.
So, with all this said, Mr. Crawford, yesterday PMP came out and distanced itself from the 1% increase. Have you tried to sit with the opposition caucus to position this argument to them so they understand definitively where you're coming from?
Well, I've been talking to Julian Robinson personally. But I can tell you, if God should bless me to be the Minister of Education, and they continue only to give us salaries for teachers, I resign the next year.
Oh.
I don't have time to be a part of a system of trickery and chicanery, because there can be no improvement. What is the value of a Minister of Education? Just make the Ministry of Finance pay the teachers then. If the total budget available to the minister is light bill and water rate, what? I mean, I don't have great confidence in the minister's ability. But my God, she's made to look worse if she don't have no resources.
So you're saying that if you go there and you not get the extra money where you ask for the education program, you say you go step aside.
Then what am I gonna do there?
But if you
pay people.
What about finding a creative way to even ask the private sector to help you annually to fund this $25 to $30 billion?
No. There's other needs for the private sector. For example, the role of management, because that is a skill within the private sector. So the boards of schools were calling on the private sector to make persons available from within their companies to manage the school boards. That is an important function that we have not.
So you're going somewhere where a lot of people would not want to go, because over the years, the management of the school boards has always been politicized. So are you arguing to move away from the politicization of school boards?
No. Well, people misunderstand politicize as a term. The MP has been asked to name a person to manage the schools within their constituency.
Mm-hmm.
The MP can choose he, she, or the old lady.
Mm-hmm.
If the MP choose people based on their political affiliation, then it is politicized. If the MP choose people based on their capacity, then the
Mm-hmm.
term politicized is being misused.
Okay.
Now, if we can call upon the private sector to make available both in time and otherwise. So, for example, you would have to allow a person to be absent from 3 o'clock until 5 o'clock twice per month.
Mm-hmm.
That is a commitment the private sector would have to make,
Okay.
right?
That's
You'd
reasonable.
have to commit to possible funding, transportation for the person so that them can be at Gimme bit and wherever, eh?
True.
So that is a commitment. Now, if what is the chief skill of the private sector? It is managing resources. That's a chief skill, seeing value and creating value. So there's that duty. The second duty of the private sector, I believe, within education is helping with a teacher retention plan. So I'm calling upon the supermarkets to give us, you remember Magna Card, where you
Yes,
can get a
yeah, the
discount
Magna
because you
card.
have,
But it
yes.
still
So
works.
right, but we want a discount card for our teachers. You see,
Discount.
when I see a
What
teacher,
you talking
I,
about?
all right, a teacher should be able to go to a supermarket and get 5% off because they're a teacher.
5% at chicken feed, Damion. Say 20%, man.
Well, the supermarket have still made them profit, which is normally 15 to 20%. So if they, but any amount I can get, but I will try to negotiate, right? But you have 20 odd thousand teachers, so you have to look into it. Plus the teacher then will go buy for everybody else, and then next thing teacher start a wholesale and I sell things.
Hey,
But
what a
I'm saying
banger.
yeah, that is one of the realities of policy. You have to look on how it can be misused. But I'm
True.
saying a discount, right? And that's one of my negatives. I am too precise sometimes. So a discount, right? So a teacher should be able to go to um, a supermarket and get a discount. A hairdresser, a nail tech, and get a
Yes.
discount. So we're asking them to participate in this teacher Magna Card system. We're also saying to a teacher should be able to utilize the hotel in the off months, like the summer months, and get a big discount
Like a
because they're a
50%
teacher,
off.
whatever them can afford, right? Me now put a number. I'm saying that the private sector would then what you call give up something towards a teacher retention plan. You know, when I go to America and them say a soldier, them say thank you for your service.
Mm-hmm.
That is appropriate because America's war is with other nations.
Mm-hmm.
When we see a teacher, we should say thank you for your service because Jamaica's war is with dunceness and illiteracy.
Wow.
Our war is not a soldier war with nations. Our serious war is with the underperformance of our students. So me want the private sector to be a key component in teacher retention, teachers being satisfied with being a teacher, being revered, feeling that there is benefit of being a teacher. Because there are schools currently that haven't had a math teacher for 3 years.
So what are they teaching?
So PE teachers are sitting down in mathematics classes to maintain discipline.
What you say, sir?
I can speak to a school in because over 1,300 teachers are leaving every year for the last 2 years. And we have not heard a teacher retention plan being proposed by the government.
But apart of that, Mr. Crawford, I want to go a little further tonight. You spoke about the whole boarding structure being in place, right?
Yes.
For as a means to reduce the whole transport of our students. Don't you think it's now time that we take on a massive rural transport plan for education?
Yes, but there's also some negatives. Because we don't have proper zoning plans where people live A place, B place, C place. And because we also don't have zoning in education where people go to the school nearest to them yard, then it will be almost impossible to have an adequate transportation system because you will have persons leaving from Mavis Bank and ending up over by Donald Quarry or ending up at KC. And so, therefore, this splintering that it creates. You see, America can offer a student bus system quite simply because you go to the school closest to your yard, right? And there are big negatives to going to the school closest to your yard because poor communities have poor schools and rich communities end up having rich schools. So what boarding creates is a solution to that. That you come Monday, you left Friday, you go back home for the weekend, you come back Monday, and we start again. And that should be funded through NHT because the government keeps taking, I think, 11 billion a year from NHT to subsidize the budget. But housing can include student housing.
Oh, so you say let
And
the NHT build out some boarding structure in some of the schools.
yes, yes. All right, hold on. When rich people children now behave themselves and now listen, what's the first thing they do? Seek boarding school.
Well, true.
Seek boarding school. When a student need extra help, what's the best place for him to be?
Among school.
In an environment for study or at him yard where no adult not present.
Not monitoring him.
When you find a student who is not being abused, but the parent is incapable to do all that is necessary for this child, like send him to school every day and provide lunch money and all of that, should you now go put him in a home or simply make him go boarding school and then go on back to a parent who's willing but simply incapable on a weekend? When a child live in a circumstance where none a lighting, none a water, would a boarding school help that child?
Yeah, it would.
So why were we so illogical?
Yeah, then there's the argument: if you go do the boarding, can the parents fund the boarding?
It's in our 25 billion.
Oh, okay.
Because listen to me, if we don't fund them for the 5 years in school, we have to fund them for the 50 years after.
In prison.
In prison, in hospitals,
in cemeteries,
in park program, in cemetery, in medicine, because they won't be able to afford survival.
Wow.
You think the government facilitate me in medicine? 90% of the time that I feel sick, I go private. I don't go public hospital. You think the government fund me with food? I don't depend part program. You think the government fund me with burial? I don't need government contribution. And I don't need it because I was able to get an adequate education that has allowed for the government now to be getting whole heap of taxes from me. The funding of education returns is clear. And the naysayer we talk about, oh, they're going to migrate. If they migrate and they are educated, they will make much more money and send back much more money.
Oh, okay. I see where you're coming from, Sir Crawford.
So the hoopla about, oh, no taxes, that is not my major concern. My major concern.
We as a nation not willing to spend or put up 1% more for a greater education outcome.
Yes.
We now want serious problem.
We already in a serious problem. But when my daughter, who is 1 year old now, said, Daddy, how come we're Haiti? I must be able to say, boy, baby, I fought, I fought the hardest I could fight. Because one of the reasons Haiti is Haiti because of the unexposure to education sufficient for people to make decisions in their best interests.
Oh. So
they
you're
become
saying
enemies of
based
themselves.
on where we are now, Senator Crawford, are you arguing that we are a pre-model to Haiti?
All right. I can tell you that where my family is from Westmoreland. There was a time that Westmoreland was the Portland of the West. A crime would be a surprise when I used to go there in 1991, 1992, really? 1993. I tell you that. Go and ask anybody who know about Westmoreland. I used to go there. I used to play football for Dean's Valley and all of them things. I used to work down by the Scotia Bank for summer job down by
Really?
St. George's Street. Westmoreland was a Portland.
And
What
it
is
has
happening in
now
Westmoreland now?
become a St. James.
Jesus Christ, it's worse than St. James. But me not go so far. Manchester in the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
St. Elizabeth in the last 10 years. Haven't we seen the deterioration in criminal activity?
Mm.
So if we project that this continues over the next 30 years, that places like Westmoreland in 1991 become Westmoreland now in 2023. Then
Wow.
Portland now gonna be that in 2051.
Mighty God.
And while it is that me might have dead and gone in 2051, in 2051 my daughter will be in her 20s.
Mm.
Is a going concern. And what can we do to solve that and stop that? We can create an environment that we're exporting nurses, that we're exporting teachers, and not just exporting teachers, having a system like what you say Cuba can export them because so much of them are educated and informed. Having a system where we're not only sending farm work people for go chop cane and pick apple, but sending skilled workers who go work in the oil field and those things because they're engineers and mechanics and all of that. That we have created a society that we don't only have call center for answer phone, but we have legal process outsourcing. These are possibilities that we don't have a dream anymore. We don't have a vision for our society.
So you said
So
there's no national model for what it truly means to be a Jamaica for the next 30, 40, 50 years. There's no true development plan for Jamaica.
There's no visionary. There's nobody who's committed to anything. There's no Michael Manley coming forward. You understand? So
Repeat
when
that.
me come and say,
There is no Michael Manley visionary. Wow, interesting. So I want to ask you the question tonight. Are you that Michael Manley visionary?
well, I wouldn't be so disrespectful to put myself in that category because only time can show the outcome.
Do you have tendencies or do you have
I believe. Yeah, because I dream. I sit down and see in my own mind what is possible. And I believe that the people can achieve it. But if you continue to give them rum and boom, not even an advertisement from the government to say that alcohol consumption from morning till night cannot be good for neither your health nor your performance.
True.
Not even an advertisement.
Wow.
Not even an advertisement against bleaching to the point that we are now spending billions of dollars. Not even an advertisement. I hear you calling for the sexual offenders registry. It is more important for the 14-year-old who is now selling sex for food.
Wow.
And nobody find it a problem that so much people think them dance is now the popular activity.
True.
We are accepting of girls spending money on bottom and breast, none on brain.
We have become totally Kardashianized.
And nobody is concerned. Nobody is like when me I say, oh yo, I am trying to say, yo, listen, do something. Because 82% of picnic in a high school should not be reading below basic school level.
That's sad idea, man. 82% of those children in high school reading at basic school primary level. That is really bad.
Let me tell you something, man. The government come up with a program called Brain Builders. Brain Builders is a pre-basic school system between the age of 0 to 1,000. They say the first 1,000 days is the most important. They have less than 6,000 spaces for 105,000 children.
In the program.
Less than 6,000 spaces for 105,000 picnic. That is in the age group. And I've never seen a demonstration for a good school. I want to see demonstration for a good road.
And for when police kill bad man.
I've never seen some people say no, sir, the school are not good. We need better school. If you have seen it, you tell me. I've never seen it.
I think I saw recently the people down Seaview, that's primary, demonstrating that the administrator needs to leave, man. I saw that.
May God bless them.
One in probably not many.
Right? So all I'm saying is, if we agree that education needs to improve and it needs the money, make we agree on that we need the 25 billion more. And then send us to work to find where the 25 billion come from. Since I've said raise it by 1%, we have had your proposal and I hear say team that has put it forward to name again one of the other bloggers, name I miss me. We say let us reserve the current 1% from the current. We also say let us not use education tax for paying teachers, but pay teachers and pay utilities and then use education tax for funding activities like the ones we have discussed. We also say like we incorporate the private sector, but I don't want education to be funded by the volunteer activity because next year might not volunteer. We can go to KFC and say, yo, KFC, let's do this. But maybe KFC not make a profit next year. Then what happened if KFC is a volunteer funder?
True. It can.
You understand?
In the bucket, you can't have them this year and then next year in a bank.
Exactly. People say, oh, what about the alumni?
You need a consistent pool.
You need a certainty of income. When a man said the alumni, I can't depend on the alumni.
If it is that you need a consistent pool to get the 30 billion.
Yes.
A stronger argument is that everybody pay GCT.
Yes.
It's only a few pay PAYE. So there is a stronger probability of getting the funds from
GCT. That was my thought. Yes. And that it would have been more fair because everybody paid.
I wonder what are the people's views tonight on this matter. Seeing that Senator Crawford has come out, you know, Jamaica, me not go give a comparison tonight. But I've never heard Favour Williams come and give us a breakdown like this on the education sector. The threats and the opportunities. Have you ever heard Favour Williams explain to UNO students what is happening and what are the probabilities, what are the threats assessment? So I am asking to you tonight, Jamaica. Senator Crawford was on a program and him explained in short, but him come here tonight and him explain to you in full. What is his position on the GCT versus the PAYE versus taking it out from the present GCT, the 1%? Where do you all see yourselves tonight? Do you agree with Senator Crawford or only this only still don't want to pay the tax? Let me hear.
Hey, I am saying.
Yes, Senator.
Make we agree, so we need the money first.
Make we agree we need the money.
If we don't need the money, then we don't have to discuss how to get it.
Okay.
If a man say make it on or it on.
You know, Senator, I'm going to make a charge to you.
Yes.
I would have appreciated that you had gone around the island a little bit to show the variables, not only to the comrades, but to the nation. Like do a town hall series and let them see how we are, even if you want partner draw you go around the island. And we can do a series where we stop at under some focal group discussions and let the people understand why we need to find the money. What you say? What do you think?
Yeah, well, I would welcome that because I need the people. You see, what has happened is that they have convinced the people that they need nothing more than muscle. because there was a time that we only needed workers to chop banana and chop cane. We have to now get back to the point to realize that if it is that our children are functioning at 53% according to the World Bank of their potential, suppose Bolt was running at 53% of his potential, where would I get medal from?
I don't know right now. It not even look like we're going to get no medal in this Olympics. Yeah.
Because some of them are running at 53% of their potential because of injury, etc. Can you imagine if we can make a guarantee of a nutritious meal, whether you're rich or poor, whether you go camping or KC, that you're going to get a nutritious meal?
Each day.
Every day that you go to school, you're guaranteed a meal that we're going to get some nutrition.
Crawford, even know that you have a lot of the canteens that are concessionaires, right? But
Yes.
you have to know that the government would be able to pay them each month a particular rate to provide meals for every student.
Then no contract. People have to go. All right. Let me tell you how me not do it now. Me would have get some nutritionists to design 30 meal options using local produce and things like that that have the nutritional requirement that is needed.
True.
Then now we put out.
Yes, man.
Yes. Then we put out a call for proposals to supply each school. So you can say, yo, listen, I want to do this school and this is my costing and this is my that. We're targeting $500 per child. So therefore you can send in and then we will choose the concessionaires. Then I create an app that the student can and his parent come together and select the meal from yesterday. So that when you are prepare your meal. Exactly. So when time you
yes, I love them idea because you know I'm a culinary person.
Yeah. So therefore now you know where to buy and where to prep. Now when you go, if him change his mind and go swap it with him friend, cause you know it go already, he might have changed his mind. But you come saying say you want a banana casserole, because the nutritionist them are gonna say the banana have iron and the this have protein and the egg have this, and I will create a meal out of that. And then next month the this have that and the this have that. So you have 30 options. So therefore 3 for
and
today.
That would also create income for the communities.
Then enough millionaire are gonna come out of it, man. Not enough millionaire are gonna come out of it. Yes, then the concessionaire now gonna have a food.
1% more GCT, no fan not gonna get a big partner. No. Lord Jesus. Students in the year what Senator Crawford say, 1 and in and 5 and out.
Whole heap of people are gonna make money out of it.
Whole heap of not gonna get partner.
Because what you know.
You can get employed to become coaches, to do the cadet program. You understand? To do the evening program. Come on, students, man. After me, your labor writer telling you say, them are go no opportunity to get an employee.
But if you're picnic have a degree, you think say you now can buy medicine?
You're there.
If you're picnic have a degree, you think you have to beg MP plyboard and zinc fence?
Plyboard and zinc fence.
I remember one time I did able to make my mother fly first class. It was the proudest thing that I have ever been able to do. First class, nam breakfast, nam everything from plane and come down. We used to live in a 2-bedroom with 8 of us. Mother and father in a 1 room with a curtain, not even a door. And the next 6 away, I share a divan bed.
Wow.
Education. And you see, when we hear some people talk about scamming, and every friend that I have in my 40-year-old age group that went to UE with me, they're 10, 12, 15 million a year now. In the first year, we'd have suffer, of course. When we just left university at 21 and 22, and we are at the entry-level jobs, not never go on. But all of them know that is deputy this and senior that and VP of this. So why we are live to 23 and not realize that we are going to survive to 75?
Jamaica, I'm sure you have heard Senator Crawford tonight. That 1% increase
No, me now continue upon the increase. 25 billion addition
30 billion addition is
can
needed.
transform this entire
That
thing.
can
It's needed.
transform our education outlook yearly. 30 billion more, Jamaica.
And then we can hold teacher accountable. Then we can say, yo, listen, we need 5 subjects out of 80% of these students. But we can't hold teacher accountable now when pick their dead for hungry.
But not even them alone are left for hungry. All the teacher them hungry too.
All the teacher. This is the reality that we face. May I tell you a story about a teacher who was in the newspaper. She got 217 passes out of, she get 97% passes. I see it in the newspaper in English language. I see it in the newspaper and I say, yo, we need to call the teacher.
So you
we need to understand how you do this. So I call the teacher. Tell you the truth, I ask the teacher, say, you know, want switch and come down Northwest St. Catherine and come teach my pity them down at Northwest. But anyway, I call her and I ask her what I want. While me I talk to the teacher say, can I call you back? I have to call a taxi. Seriously? A person will make
97% pass.
97% pass in English language. And then the lady hang up for call a taxi. You tell me now. And when we say, if a teacher stay 5 years, them forget a concession per vehicles. And if them stay 10 years, them forget a bigger concession per them vehicle. And if them say 20 years, them forget a even bigger concession per vehicle.
Probably get the vehicle free.
People frown upon that. But how can you risk losing? A lady will get 97% pass in English. When the majority will pick their field. How can you risk Florida come take her or California or England or Canada? Because she have got through the difficulty of having and the risk. Because you see what them I do now with people of having to call a taxi. The expense of having to call a taxi. Because when she could have buy $1,000 gas and reach a school 2 times, the taxi charge her $1,000 for just 1 time.
True.
We're not serious. These are simple policy. I said to the people, say, yo, listen, the whole I get $9 million from NHT, give the teacher 15. And if she leave, it transforms to a regular loan at NCB or Scotiabank or a bank of her choice, but now it moved from 6% to 9 and 12 and 15%, whatever it there in the real life. So make the teacher say, yo, me know why my mortgage move from 6% or 5% to 11%, you know. So me I stay. Me not left. Me I go and teach.
But with all that is said and done, Senator Crawford, you think you will get the political buy-in from your party to do something like this if you should form the next government?
Marcus Garvey was so embarrassed that he left the country. Sometimes we just have to fight the fight. Because we are trying to teach Marcus Garvey in schools now. Many of those who were ridiculed in their time are celebrated thereafter. My duty is to fight, is to campaign, is to explain, is to lobby. If them no want to give me I go burn them out too, me I tell the God truth. If they no want to give me I go resign.
Jamaica, you have heard from the erudite senator tonight. He has come here to give his perspective on what is needed to fix and improve the productivity of the land, to feed the children each day in our schools, to increase the capacity for our children to learn, to increase the capacity for our children to be safe. I want you now, Jamaica, having heard the senator's arguments tonight, to think about it critically, think about it and assess it on a needs, and say to myself, seeing that we need to achieve a better Jamaica, will you stand with the senator to find the money? Will you stand Jamaica with the senator to find the money? I know that the senator needs to go Jamaica because him there somewhere, him take out himself out of where him there. But we're going to continue the discussion. He will listen to the rest of the discussion because apparently me never know say him still watch me every night. You hear when say Jamaica, Andre, you are called for the sex offenders registry. So I must have watched the program most times to know what we're calling for over here. So with that said, let us give him the opportunity to break, but I want us to open the phone lines even for half hour to make. Is Senator Crawford, you want to leave or you want to listen to some of the people calling? Senator Crawford? Is he there? Or mute himself? Producer, mute himself.
I'll take the half hour.
All right, him say I'm going to stay with us tonight. Hello. Good night, caller.
I work Mr. Crawford now, hang up as this. Mr. Crawford, I must commend you. If I was near you, sir, I would shake your hand. Andre, me remember 2 years ago, me I lobbied big Damion Crawford to the next Prime Minister.
Well, he might make sure him win an MP seat first.
This is the reason why I said he should be the next Prime Minister. Me tell us that Damion Crawford was the one who let me pass maths.
Damion Crawford make you get arranged to in a maths?
Within watching his videos, within 3 months, I got arranged to. I mean, I said, bold. And he can't take me, he can't take date of birth, he can't take whatever, but check himself.
Mighty God.
Thank you, brother. Respect, man. I'm glad to know it help you.
We keep telling her, you see, you, the great Isaac Buchanan, and Damion Crawford, you see, if Jamaican people make you go to waste, then done. Doom. And then, we sit down and listen to Damion Crawford a while ago, and tears come on my eye. You know why tears come on my eye? The man is passionate about the students and the children.
Yes.
And no, the gas school hungry. Andre, me remember when me there gas school, you know, I tell you straight.
Yeah.
Used to iron and yam, Nutribun.
The Nutribun were well read and him friend them teeth now.
Me used to help carry the crate. And when me carry crate, the lady we said, take out 2 for yourself and take out 2. Listen to me, and enough how we did that school hungry. School hungry.
All right, I'm going to take another call. So I'm happy to know that you did benefit from a maths tutorial. All right? All right, God bless you. My God. Yes, Overcomer, good night.
Good night, Professor. Good night, Damion. Good night, classmate.
Good night.
I mean, you know, me have to come with my little something last, but it a born me, so me have to come first.
Yes.
Let me tell you something, Professor. You hear me blinking them in the background. Let me tell you something. Yeah, man, Crawford has a picnic at school hungry. You see how summer while come here now? Picnic are so fine around here. Because parents don't have what to get picnic in my yard. So you know when picnic at school, picnic can have next picnic food. Picnic can share with next kind picnic. Teacher sorry for picnic and enough. Teacher every day sorry for picnic, you know. Chef might in the kitchen hide and give little picnic food. When they die, they might get hungry. But what I want to say to Damion Crawford tonight, you see?
Yes.
Professor, it's the timing with that revelation when you come with to me is very wrong. Jamaica Labour Party, unless I'm a Jamaica Labour Party, you're directing it at. Jamaica Labour Party don't have nothing to do with the welfare of the whole human race in Jamaica. So you see the little ideas of what you have, hold them close to your heart, Master, until the time don't come. The time is nearer now than before. So just wait for the time to come and you put in and implement all what you have to implement if and when you get the post. But as to introduce something to the Jamaica Labour Party don't have no interest. Education Minister have no interest in Jamaica. All right, sir?
All right.
Yes,
I must keep it close to him.
The time is nearer now than it has ever been. Time comes.
All right. Whoa, it don't say close to the bosom. Hello, good night.
Good night, Mr. Damion.
Night, my brother. What going?
All right. Your idea is 20 years too late for Jamaica, but never too late to implement. You said something where every Jamaican should listen to you. Then talk about the tax and GTC, but not talk about the education. That's how backward we are. I'll tell you somewhere you can get a lot of money for that. The cigarette and alcohol.
Yes.
Cigarette and alcohol. A special tax go to those that goes and gambling go to that funding.
So you say him could have found some of the money from taxing cigarette and alcohol.
Yeah, for that.
Okay.
And gambling.
Yeah.
All right.
Listen, the racing commission, the racing industry, the gambling industry, right? The government, the betting and gaming is one of the few government agencies we can pay them staff and do all they want, the money and the money they must collect.
All right, so I hear you tonight. So you say do the cigarette, the alcohol, and the betting and gaming, right?
Yeah, in most states in America.
Yeah, man, I hear you and I get the point. So thank you for that the argument. Just make it short.
Yeah, man, respect for the idea, brother. Respect for the idea. The syntaxes, respect.
Hello, good night.
Hi, good night.
Short and spicy.
All right. Good night, Mr. Crawford. Sorry.
Night.
I'm tired. I came from work. Okay, so forgive me if you answered this before because I have to rewatch this. Okay, I understand what you're passionate about education, and I love that about you. My thing is that instead of taxing the poor people with this, couldn't we tax more the corporation? Couldn't we tax the hotel owners? Couldn't we tax the foreign investors? Couldn't we tax people who are going to other tax havens like St. Lucia, Cayman Islands? Couldn't we tax those people instead of taxing poor people?
But I don't believe that the pool of tax will add up to the amount that we need to get. You heard, caller?
Okay, because I think that poor people are paying so much money, especially when they going back to school. They have to pay GCT on the uniforms, they have to pay it on the books, they have to be paying these things and everything. I do believe in investing in education, but I just believe that it's need to tax the corporations more like corporate taxing like that.
All right, go listen back to him argument them tonight, and I'm sure he would have given you full clarity. All right.
Okay.
But I thank you for the idea same way, because if it can splinter among more groups, better, you know.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Hello, good night. Hello, good night.
Good night.
Yes, caller.
Yes, I'm calling regarding the fact that we have these Chinese investments and investors and those in the hotels that are not paying proper taxes, and those things would help those schools.
So you're saying go after the Chinese and the hoteliers?
Yeah, because they spend 5 years disappear with the money, and then, it's of no benefit to our country.
Oh, okay. So you say there must be a more creative way to go after the hoteliers then? All right. Thank you for that. Thank you for
All
that.
right. Thank you. Thank you for the idea. Thank you.
You hear when them say go after the Chinese and the hoteliers.
Yes.
Lord, bad boy Trevor. Yes, bad boy Trevor. What you saying now?
Mr. Crawford, for yourself.
Yo, yeah, man. Are you with me here? Come up with the thing where say, yo, me could just take it out of the current GCT, Trevor.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's a final course, yeah. The whole hotel between Ocean and Montego Bay. My thing is this. See, every hotel will be like Jamaica. They must contribute to a school, a hospital, a fire station, or something like that. They cannot be hotel. And not contribute to the country. Biggest thing.
So you're talking about them corporate social responsibility?
Yes.
Okay.
Every hotel to get involved in a school. I saw benefit Jamaica, fire station, hospital. This is a bit of a big hotel rooms too. Supposedly and people never go.
Okay. All right. I hear your argument loud and clear.
Yo, Trevor, thank you, man. Respect for the calling.
Every time we want to go to place, your eyes are turning back.
I know, man. We are stay night. Respect.
Hold on there. Hello, good night.
Good night, Mr. Crawford. Good night, Andre.
Good night.
Up here. Years ago, the country used to write, or the employer used to write 5 checks. One for National Housing Trust, one for Education Tax, one for PAYE, one for NIS, one for HEART. Because we wanted to go to pop up the IMF, we write one check now. We used to write one check called collector's taxes. All of that went into the consolidator fund to pop up the country for to pass the IMF test. Just like how the gas tax is being collected from people right now, and it is not doing what it is said it is supposed to be collected for, right? How the traffic ticket is going into the consolidator fund, the property tax is going into the consolidator fund, the gas tax is going to the consolidator fund, and we don't see what it is doing for. How are you sure are going to tell the country that 1% that you want to collect will be given directly to the education ministry, especially when right now you have to say the world is in a recession. People would not be able to find that 1%, then people can't even find what they need to eat. A pound of chicken in 2020 costs $220. A pound of chicken today costs $3.20 to $3.70, depending on where you buy it. Right?
Right.
Therefore, I would like you to tell me, how are you going to...
to reassure us that the money we're going in for education, you're going to get it to deal with the education.
How are you going to tell us when everything is going into one fund to make sure that we can pass IMF test? Because everything is going into the consolidator fund. So how are you going to tell me that money is going to be specific when the gas tax don't prove that, the traffic ticket don't prove that, and the property tax don't prove that?
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, Senator Crawford, how are you going to respond to that one?
I don't see how it is going to work.
All right.
No, all right. So first of all, remember, as I say, based on my party's utterances, that we're moving away from the increase. However, if it is that you are to segment some money, then we can do what we have done, like how we have the rules, the fiscal rules that are in law. So we have fiscal rules of how much we have to pay for debt. We have fiscal rules as how much we have to pay for debt to GDP, salaries to GDP. So if you put the fiscal rule in law that a percent of GDP should go to the functioning of education, then every government would have to now satisfy that law. And that law will then, it's like how we have EPAC, we look over the fiscal rules. You don't have the education one, we look over the education rules to guarantee that the money is going to education.
Okay. Here when System said it would become a policy, a mandatory policy, Jamaica, for the education sector, for us to get the funds to deal with what is the funds directly to deal with. All right? When you hear that loud and clear, let me take some more calls. Hello, good night. Hello, good night.
Hello.
Yes, sir, good night. What you saying, sir?
Yes, I'm online.
Yes, sir. Hurry up and talk for me now, please.
Yeah,
Sir, turn off the something in the background and call me. Hello, good night.
Hello.
Yes, good night, caller.
Good night, Andre. How you doing? Mr. Crawford? Good night.
How you do? How you do? Good night.
Okay, I agree with the caller that spoke about the Chinese and the taxes. I'm
Yeah.
also suggesting that we get more skilled school with skills that provide skills, because not all children are academically inclined.
Well,
Yes.
Another thing is,
if you heard him earlier, he said making 4 vocational labs mandatory in schools. He spoke about that.
okay, and my thing is, I think that all students leaving high school, because either go there is put them at some specific point with a serve a year, just in order to give them that little ding on,
No, that's why he spoke about mandatory cadet uniform groups in school for grade 7 and grade 8. All right? He spoke about that. Go listen to the live earlier and you listen to what he said. All right? All right, my boy. No. Thank you.
Thank you for calling in.
Yes. Hello, good night.
Good night, Mr. Andrew.
Yes, sir. What you do?
Yeah, man. Bless you, Mr. Crawford.
Yelly King.
Calling to say it's a good idea, Mr. Crawford, company, because the other day, me have an idea to say, in Jamaica, if each Jamaican put $5 per day, $5 per day, you multiply how much people in Jamaica and see how much that can come up a week time to help a school. So when Mr. Crawford is saying the tax, he's right. He's absolutely right. You understand? Because even the companies, them can come and them raise bread and them raise bulla and them raise liquor and them raise everything as them like. So why the government can put on a dollar?
Okay.
For education wise.
Well, you have a point there. You have a point there.
As what Mr. Crawford said, many parents drop out of school from 8th grade. So get a 9th grade and a 10th grade homework.
Them can't do it.
Them can't help the child.
They can't.
You understand? So if that first child in the house get a degree, that first child can educate the parents and also educate the other one.
Every local sister, every local brother.
Coming forward will be able to get little assistance.
Yes, you understand? So if we as a people in Jamaica see that the government collecting our money and put it up and put it back for our kids and our grandkids, it shouldn't be a problem. So no Jamaican shouldn't say, as Mr. Crawford said, the prisoner I get 3 meals. And the school none.
I get you.
You understand?
All right, so the point resonates with you.
Yes, it is right.
All right. Thank you for your perspective.
I sure know after tonight, when all Jamaican listen this, they will come to a conclusion and say, yes, it is right.
Okay, so you think we're not good part. We have to carry through the island for the people.
Yes,
remember, say a lot of people still not hear it when I propose, A lot
of the diaspora them tonight. If you put on the show tomorrow for diaspora them, they would contribute more to the school.
All right, all right. God bless you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for calling in.
Yes. This is a PNP. Remember not in the technical. Hello, good night.
Good night, good night.
Yes.
Good night, Minister Damion.
Hi, my love. How you doing?
With him 100%. Because I can testify of myself. I have a daughter who is going high school. and I can't help her with no work at all because it's like I don't understand nothing in her work because I didn't get much schooling, right? And I mean, if they had homework program at school, then it will be good for her. So I believe it's really a good distro and it will help a lot of people.
Yes.
And I believe that as long as they will do what they say, we will have a better school system in Jamaica.
All right. Thank you for your perspective, Carl.
Thank you very much and keep on helping your daughter. Thank you very much.
Hello, good night. Yes, Saint Bess.
Good night.
Nobody straight tonight, you know. Do nobody straight.
Nobody straight. Yes, Mr. Crawford, just me.
Yeah, yes, Saint Bess.
From start to finish, and listen to me and tell us, yeah, you inspire me much. I mean,
Right.
every time I get a chance to listen to you, my son, my son each time to say, so come listen to Damion, he always have something that is tangible. The idea that you come up with, we need it, because if we're not start out education, we're doomed. Because everything is being replaced now.
Okay.
So that's why I want to
Boy, respect, man. Respect and heal up your son, man. Keep on exposing him, you know?
Yes, man. Marky G, you push, man. Marky G, have your back, man. Or yourself.
All right, cool.
If you never infuse local politics, Jesus.
Yeah.
Hello, good night.
Yeah, good night, Andre.
Yes, good night, caller.
Good night.
Hold on there. Yeah, what you saying now?
Yes, Andre, I have a question, Mr. Crawford.
Talk up now, we're not hearing you properly.
Yes, I have a question for Mr. Crawford.
Yeah, what's the
question?
Sir.
Yes, you spoke about the time of the from 8:30 until 4:30.
Yes. Yes.
What about the shift school? What is your plan in regards to the shift school? The person who go from 7 to 12 and from 12 to 5.
Well, we should target to get all schools off shift in the next 5 years, you know, because we currently have 32 schools on shift. When the government took power, we had 38 schools on shift. In the last 8 years, the government take off 1 school a year. So that means that it would take 30 years to take schools off shift.
Oh.
The negatives of shift has been proven. Why? If I don't want to send home my child at 2:30, imagine sending home at 12. Or they don't leave them yard until 11 o'clock, even though them parents leave at 7. So it would only take an addition of classrooms to be built, whether we are going to build new schools or add classrooms to the current schools, to take off this current schools off shift.
Okay.
And that is something that I believe is necessary because none of these programs can be facilitated in shift. When you're going to have club and society when evening school I go till 5 o'clock. So yes, I agree with the Virgin that we have to take school off shift. And we have to give kudos to the government for taking the 6 when them take off. But it is too slow a movement if you still have 32 left. And we can't wait 30 years. We can't wait 30 years. That would have been 6 cohort of picnic. We're born and go school and go through that system. So and it's the whole boarding thing will help with that because you have some school like we have less student than capacity.
Should be able to full.
You understand? But but because we have so much new housing scheme built down there and all of that, but now have to remain on shift because you have so many people to facilitate.
True.
You know? But yeah, shift system is an albatross around the necks of our people.
So in your estimation, I agree, and with that, in regards to the overpopulation of some schools and the underpopulation of others. I know your proposal is for the boarding system.
Yes.
But, how would you tell that to the parents that
to board
run from X point to KC or not to run from
All right. Well, we don't make schools of excellence. So we don't make schools of excellence in particular sports, school of excellence in particular academic area. So you imagine if you have a school of excellence in biology, but you have a
school of
board.
excellence in the
A school
performing
of excellence in the performing arts. A school of excellence in STEM. A school of excellence in mechanic or electrical. A school of excellence in culinary. And so therefore, when them choose the professions that they want, then they will start to now seek to attend those schools of excellence and be willing to board in those schools of excellence. The problem is that is only KC and JC is a school of excellence in academics, but it's not extended to be a school of excellence in different activities. So also now we don't make them be desirous to go there.
One more
no, caller, you can't take one more question.
Just one more, please. Please, can you call Andrew when it's time to call election? Because that's how I vote now.
All right, cool.
Hey, on the easy now. One in Jesus' name. Him have one more question and the man I go see. Can't call Andrew when it's because. Let us say PMP have to prepare first. The PMP not fully prepared. Hello, good night. Hello.
Andre, how are you? Mr. Crawford. Good
night. Good night.
Yes, I must say that I would sit here all night, Mr. Crawford, and listen to you of the great ideas that you have towards education.
Thank you.
Man, you should be in the system long time, or else education would not have gone to the dogs. Leave our little youths to suffer and go to a bar and sit down and dig out them in the middle.
Right.
Whatever. If you was in the system long time. But I lift my cap to you because I see that you have good intention towards Jamaica, towards the youth of Jamaica. And I know that if you happen to get into the education system as being the Minister for Education, you will do well, and our youth would soar to higher heights.
All right, caller, thank you for
just a minute, Andre. When you go in there, bring back the brownies and bring back 4-H club because that helps discipline our young girls.
All right, brownies and 4-H club.
Thank you.
All right,
All right, thank you. Thank you very much.
All right.
Lord Jesus.
Yes, God.
Jamaica, that is where I'm leaving the discussion tonight with all that Senator Crawford has contributed. Remember that we have a long day. Tomorrow is farm day for him plus Senate. No.
Yeah, tomorrow Senate. Yes.
Senate tomorrow morning. Him have Senate tomorrow morning, students, and him have to prepare for tackle the labor right then. Senator Crawford.
Yes, sir.
The cyber crime bill, has it been carried to the senators yet?
No, I'm not. I don't know if it's been tabled. No.
But Senator Crawford, I want you to monitor that cyber crime bill for me when you come to the parliament. You hear? Please.
All right, me look out. I look out for it and make sure so me deal with them.
Yeah, and you send it to me so I can give my input and rebuttal them. Please.
You know that people when that bill is tabled, it's posted on the website, so you can always
we not even know so them put it on the website.
That's why I inform you. So once a bill is tabled, it is posted on the Parliament website.
Yes,
so I can send it to you the same way, but I just want the general public to know that them can go on the website and look at any bill,
All right, so we're going to look at the cybercrime bill because it is very important, especially that them want to silence a lot of us, like small people in this country. So,
yeah, man, me look out for it.
God bless you. God bless you.
All right, thank you for the opportunity, man. Respect. Cool.
All right, and come back.
All right.
Anytime. And don't be a stranger. How much months now? 6 months?
Yeah, long time.
Don't
Tell me when we go up on the road. Tell me when we go up on the road.
They really want we organize it?
But things ain't necessary, The more we can get to the people if we understand the importance, the better.
All right. We're going to even organize 3 and see how we can get it done. All right?
All right.
Thank
All
you
right.
so
Love
much.
him, brother.
Bless you.
All
Bless you. Bless you. Jamaica, I am sure you appreciate the discussion tonight. It was open. It was frank. It was precise. It went directly to the issues affecting our children and our nation and the education sector. But all in all, Jamaica, when we think of it, if the children are hungry, how can they perform? If the children are under-resourced and ill-equipped, how can they perform? If they are failing so badly, how can we compete in the region and within the global sphere? I ask you that tonight. So with that said, Jamaica, are we able and willing to find the 30 billion more needed annually to fund education? Are you ready for us to have that open discussion how we go and pool the money together to fund education? Thank you, everyone who joined the discussion tonight. Thank you, everyone. And you see, that is why, as my brother and friend Isaac Buchanan says, context matters, because a lot of us were beating down Damion Crawford last night, saying, what is him put Pawi, more taxes. But when he gave the full spectrum and context to the crisis in education, I am sure we are all appreciative that we need to find the money. Probably not find it by increasing the taxes, but there are other alternatives. Do we take a percentage out of the GCT? So if GCT is 15%, do we take 1% of the GCT to accumulate that money? How do we do it? It's a serious discussion to be had, Jamaica. But there we have it tonight. Thanks to everybody who was here with us tonight. Students, there was a lot more that I had to discuss tonight, but I will have to use tomorrow night to discuss it. My name is Andre Stevens, and this was the Partner Draw TV Andre Stevens Show. Until tomorrow, 1 p.m. God bless you. Keep blessed. And remember, share this program with somebody tonight into tomorrow. Let them hear the perspective of Damion Crawford. Until then, Jamaica, bless you, bless you, bless you. Bless you, Jamaica. Bye-bye.